G'day, David. How you doing?
Hey, Thomas. Exceptionally well.
Hi, Richard. How you doing?
Excellent, Thomas.
So, David from Wiseberry Enmore and Richard Martinesi from Wiseberry Five Dock. How was December?
December?
It was good.
You go first, Richard.
Yeah, it was actually quite good. Market's still strong. It's doing quite well. I think limited stock, obviously, for December, which is pretty common. People are saying, should we sell before Christmas or should we wait for the new year?
Right.
A lot of people that I've been to and we've listed have actually listed for January, so the second week. So it's going to be a great January.
Okay. So the stock is still there, is it?
There's some stock coming on for January. This month was quite slow.
Because a lot of people talking about stock dwindling down, and,
yes.
and you're saying it's still following.
Correct.
That's amazing.
So December, it was slow for us
Yes.
for the stock level, but we did list in December for January.
Right.
Yeah, we're finding the same. We've had a few appraisal. I've been to, speaking to potential vendors looking at coming on in the new year.
Yes.
But for listings actually coming on in December, no, it was very
Correct.
slow. So I think people can still see that there's a lot of positivity out there in the marketplace. We're still getting good prices. We had a few things away in December. We had a lovely auction, an apartment in Newtown in mid-December that went off really well. We had four registered bidders. We probably had about 51 or 52 inspections in total, four registered bidders. And it was a great auction too. We had, sometimes you might have four registered bidders but only two active or something like that. But we had four all active in the auction, so it was a fun auction actually. And we went well. We had a lot of feedback beforehand. 750 to 800, and we got 851 at auction. So the vendor was ecstatic. She was over the moon. So she's out in house hunting mode now, and that's one of my next tasks is to find a house for her in the area.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Very nice.
So overall, it's still a lot of positivity out there in the marketplace. And
We're talking about positivity, but I mean, this is Monday, right? And yesterday, every single state has closed their borders to New South Wales. So a lot of people that were in a meeting with me or in the gathering with me had to just rush back to Canberra before midnight. So is this going to affect real estate, or because it's Christmas, it's actually maybe not going to have too much of an impact?
I think the biggest concern with most people is going to impact on their plans for Christmas. A lot of people are meeting family, friends, relatives and everything, and it's just what I've heard so far today. It's just thrown, even myself, it's thrown a lot of plans into turmoil. So people have to rethink that. But I think the property market, I don't think it'll have a great impact unless we have some massive blow up in the number of cases or something like that. I don't think it'll dent people's confidence in the marketplace. No.
If anything, maybe it will extend, because like all of these talk about cutting off job seeker and all these things, and then maybe there will be some kind of extension beyond April, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If the government can afford it. As my son said to me last night, I was speaking to him, he said, it's all right for you old buggers. He said, it's us, we're the ones who are going to pay the debt.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can always afford it, but who's paying? That's the thing.
That's right.
Exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact, even with JobKeeper and stuff. Like my personal opinion is, coming up to March, if they do scrap it, I think the market still will stay strong because of the low interest rates. A lot of people that are on job seeker, they're probably going to come back because businesses are thriving, and a lot of businesses have thrived through COVID. So I believe that it will get stronger next year, and I think we're going to be fine with the market all the way till, who knows, even Christmas next year. We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I was reading a report the other day, and I was listening to something this morning. With inflation rate still low, it's about 0.7%, and I think the Reserve Bank target is, between 2 and 3%. So until we get inflation up there, the interest rates are going to be where they are now. So it's going to be, as you say, it could be another year, couple of years before we see any movement there. And whilst they stay that way, I think the market will sort of bubble along quite well. But if we get an upturn, well, that's another story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a while off yet. So certainly not in the short term.
I actually just finished training of one of your future employees.
Adina.
And she was actually pretty good.
Excellent.
It was really rejoicing. I think that she's going to be a great addition to your office. Very switched on and very bubbly.
Yes. Fits her team really well.
And I think she's going to bring to a Five Dock environment a very, very bubbly personality in the
Correct.
business, you know?
Yes.
And so that leads me to another question. I know that you've been partying on the weekend, Christmas party with your staff. How
One
was
day
it?
after another.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're still paying for it, are you?
Yeah. Monday morning, it's been Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're here though, which is good.
Well, but listen, this is a good thing. You know, we always talk about, like, in your offices, it's about working hard when we have to work, but when we have fun, we party.
Yeah,
correct.
You know, that's the way of doing it, isn't it? And
Yep.
it's no point half working when you're at work and then half thinking about work when you party.
That's right. Do everything at 110%.
So you have a good story to share with us? I mean, 3 days, there must be plenty of stories you can share.
Yeah, I'll probably keep those ones to myself, but
You probably can't
All right,
remember
one that can be...
one that can be told. I think. No, listen. I think. I think I spoke about this one in November. It was one of the properties that had been on the market for 8 months, and I think I told you I didn't want to jinx it when coming up, but we finally got it through. It was a 28-day cool off.
my God.
So it just kept going and going and going due to finance. So even though the banks are lending, they're still a bit tight, on the procedures and what they're who they're lending to. But this guy had a very good deposit. He had I think it was nearly 18%. So a really good deposit. But it still took 28 days. And, the owners, 3 times were going to pull the pin. They're like, we can't do this. We bought another house and, we'll just cancel it. It's close to Christmas. We'll just take it off the market. And I said, no, please. I said, it's going to go through. I said, I've got confidence of this and that and what had happened. And I just said, listen, there's going to be 2 outcomes. I said, in 3 days' time, you're going to love me. I said, or you're going to hate me. I said, but just please, I'm willing to take that risk. And we finally got it through. And obviously, yes, they did love me because they got to purchase the next home of their dreams. So it was quite good.
What a great story. But that's a good diversion. So leading me back to the Christmas party.
Yeah.
So how does that... so what is it? So you relaxed after that 28 days of high stress? Is it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because I know you caught up with my daughter somewhere in the city.
On the weekend, that's right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can't share stories of that either.
You can't share those
No.
stories either. Okay, all right, no problem. How about you? Anything special with your team?
Yeah, we did. I'm getting too old to party like Richard does, as hard as he does. But we had a team. We went out to lunch on Friday afternoon. We went up to Ribio's at Newtown, which is a lovely restaurant we have up there. But
What's the name?
Ribio's.
Rubio's.
But there was another one I was reading in the paper on the weekend. Jonathan Leflin, he's a food writer for the Australian, and he was talking about his list of top 50 restaurants, and he rattled off one in Newtown, Cafe PACI, which is up the top of King Street. It's been there not a long time, so I thought that's another one I have to try. Because I drive up and down King Street and you see all these restaurants. I might try that one day, but just finding the time to fit it all in. But so that's another one.
Yeah, I love going to his area. The restaurant he takes me to, mate, it's always a discovery. I've never been to.
You've been to Sixpenny, I think it is, Stanmore?
Yeah,
Yes, that one I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's quite nice.
One Penny Red at Summer Hill is
Okay.
also excellent. That's well worth a visit. We went to, because our favourite at Leichhardt Fratini is closed, so we ventured off the other day with a few of my clients to Bar Reggio at Darlinghurst.
Oh, yeah.
But not quite the charm, but the food's good there. So
Yeah.
it's good,
Yeah.
So we've got to search out a few more. We've got a new Vietnamese one opened up on Enmore. It actually opens up today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I have to try that. Manny just leased one of the shops up there, so yeah.
Man, the Vietnamese restaurant, they're popping up everywhere.
They are. They're getting more popular. I think,
Yeah,
10 years ago, it changed the cuisines from, Chinese to Thai. Everyone was into Thai. But even now, I tried Vietnamese the first time because I got a Vietnamese guy working for me, Anthony. And I tried Vietnamese for the first time about a year ago. And I love it. It's a lot more fresher. It's nice. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's happening in terms of business? We closing down? We continuing? What are we doing?
No, we're sort of winding up on Christmas Eve.
So
Hopefully
we're
about every
closing
day
for
or
the business?
thereabouts. Yeah. And then we come back on the 4th, Monday the 4th of January. It's only a
Monday the
shortish break.
4th already. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah, with a big property management portfolio with the rentals, you can't have too long off it. things mount up. We've got vacancies, and sometimes we find that first week or two back in January is pretty good inquiry levels because a lot of people are still on holidays. So they've got time to have a look around. So if we're back and can sort of capitalise, and that's a good thing. Particularly as at the moment, the vacancy rate's fairly horrendous. So it has come down a bit. I think in October it was up to 5.8%. This is the inner city suburbs, and I think November figures were down to 4.6, which is a good improvement.
Right.
But it's still, even that in itself is an improvement. But when you look at the rest of the state, like up and down the east coast, out of Sydney, I mean, all the vacancy rates are 1% or less, so they're really low. So we've still got it fairly high, but. Again, as I probably mentioned before, until we get university back to face-to-face teaching and a lot of international students back, I think those, near city areas are still going to struggle for a while with vacancies. But anyway, that's the way the market is. We just have to adapt. And
And the key is not only we have to adapt these days, but we almost have to adapt within the 12 hours of of news being announced, right?
That's right.
That's how fast we have to adapt.
Yeah, that's right. But,
how about you?
Yeah, we're closing up as well. On the 23rd will be our last day, coming back on the 4th. So the first week obviously will be a very quiet week, but it's good to prepare to go full steam ahead, starting from the 11th. So just to be back into things and get used to the break, because if you go back straight into it after the break, it's quite hard to go full steam ahead. So it's a good way to get everything prepared and get the year started.
Yeah, especially your office seems to have that kind of energy for the moment that's been built up over the last few months.
Yes.
And now with Adina turning up, there's even more energy that's about ready to explode, if I may say.
Exactly. So it would be nice to have a break. Yeah.
And any other good stories you want to share with us, guys?
Yeah, they're good stories.
I think that was a good story, that 28 days cooling off. Great story, right?
I've never encountered one that
long. It was
I've
crazy.
Had a few
I think I've had 21.
10, 15 days.
Yeah, I've had 21 before, but 28's topped it for me.
It's got to be a record.
But at some stage, you had to give up hope.
Listen,
as an agent, like 28 days, I'm sorry, mate, I better get on with another sale.
Yeah, I think, I was on the phone with the buyer 24/7. The buyer practically, in his mind, had moved in. So it had no, it was not because the buyer was deciding, am I going to do this, am I going to do this? He didn't even do a pest and building. It was like, I'm buying the house regardless, whatever happens. It was mainly just the bank. I spoke to the broker about 15 times and she assured me everything was fine. Paperwork stacked up, everything stacked up. So it's just a matter of the big bosses in the top end to just tick it off. And it was just that waiting game for that to happen. So it was just a last day. It was like, yep, we're not giving you any more. This is the last day. Called the broker and said, you've got 2 hours to get this done. Otherwise, you're going to lose the property for the clients. Sure enough, it comes across the desk. So, there was no hope lost. I think because there was so much communication through the whole process, it was fine.
Yeah, it's interesting. Of that one I mentioned before, we sold in Newtown. The value was that was sold at auction for 851. 4 people bidding.
Yep.
Value went through a few days later. Came back with a valuation of 800,000. The broker rang me up. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "There was 4 people bidding at auction." And I said, "There was another sale in the building earlier this year for 830. So I don't know what the valuer was doing, but anyway, they had approached another valuer, another financier or something, and it went through.
But I thought that the banks were getting easier with their loans on their criteria, and suddenly now they undervaluing thing. What is this?
Who knows?
I mean, that was just aberration. I don't know what the value were.
Yeah, I think it could just be 1 or 2 certain circumstances.
So what are you guys doing for the break? You can't go away.
Can't go anywhere.
Well, my plans have suddenly changed, so I think I'll be hopefully get out in the boat if we get some weather. The Sydney to Hobart has even been cancelled, so I'm going to go and watch that. So,
how can that be cancelled though? Like,
I said to my wife last night, well, we can take the yacht out and do our own Sydney to Hobart race.
Yeah,
and I've got a very steely look.
Yeah, no, just at home. I think take the kids to a few places, but just to relax. You can't go anywhere. My parents and my whole family were going to Tasmania on Boxing Day. Yesterday, Dad cancelled everything. As I'm not taking the risk. This is the 3rd trip I've cancelled. They're supposed to go to, I think it was Hawaii in June, and he said, you know what, we're not doing anything now. We're just cancelling everything. We've lost too much money. That's it. We'll stay home. So I think just time with the family will be nice over the break, and a lot more drinking and eating.
Plenty of drinking, eating, and I've got my granddaughter to see too, and and just chill out time.
Yeah. He's been no, I couldn't say he's been busy, but I mean, you've had a busy schedule with the granddaughter. So tell us. How has it been?
She's going well. Yeah, the young Tilly's going well. She's behaving herself. Emma tells me doesn't wake up too often.
That's good.
Squeal. So
has she hasn't dropped to the grandparents for the weekend yet, has she?
Oh yeah, no.
Too early.
I'm sure that day will come soon.
It's too early.
Actually, I think we said that the other night. Emma was talking about having to go to a wedding some weekend.
Oh, really?
Here we go.
It started.
It started, yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to just have a few days to chill out.
So what's happening? So you're Santa Claus this year? What's happening?
No,
You're climbing down the chimney and deliver the presents, the granddaughter? I don't know. Well, I'm just asking.
Oh, she's too young. She won't even know who Santa Claus is.
I think David's too skinny for Santa Claus.
Yeah, I'm not now. I wouldn't make it.
At least he won't be stuck in the chimney.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Well, I famously told them, we had all the family over last year for our house at Christmas, and I famously said this would be the last Christmas at Blakehurst because we're going to sell up and move. But that hasn't happened. It's still there.
I like your place at Blakehurst. When you can sit and see every single plane land. It's beautiful view, such a high view. Oh, wow.
I can look out the window, across the bay, go sailing, go for a bike ride.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, well, guys, you got the last word. What do you want to tell your clients?
Well, to my clients, I just say thanks for your support during the year. It's been a difficult year, but we got through it. And I just say appreciate your support and look forward to working with everyone next year and hoping for a bigger and better 2021.
Yeah, I think David was reading the paper that I had in front of me, wishing my clients the same. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure dealing with you all, and look forward to a strong 2021. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, boys. Catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
2021.